We applied for the Alternative Fuel Incentive Grant because it was another way that we could get a foothold into the EV space. That extra $100,000 offset almost a third of the cost of the buses.
The AFIG grant supported our project because it enabled us to experiment with a new vehicle that we hadn't had much experience with, and then determine the efficacy of that program for potential future use.
There's a lot of residents close by who don't have the ability or the capacity to have in-home charging stations and are reliant on public charging stations.
We know from state data that there are more EVs owned and operated in this end of the county, and there is a significant lack of electric vehicle charging infrastructure.
In addition, where we are located here, not only our township generally, but our charging stations specifically, this is a location where there are a lot of socioeconomically diverse neighborhoods. We've got retail close by, we have public facilities close by, and we are right along two major corridors that see upwards of 100,000 vehicles a day.
It's also a health issue regarding drivers that are getting a little bit older. They love the effects of not having gas emissions from a diesel.
We have more pollution in our underserved communities, and again, because of the higher rates of asthma and pre-existing conditions and cardiovascular disease that our communities see, this allowed us to help make an impact.
PGW's sustainability program, we're focused on finding opportunities to lower our carbon footprint across the organization. So having programs like AFIG, being able to make those investments, it's really helping with our goals.
You have to be very aggressive and proactive in searching out grant opportunities. Certainly, this would not have been possible for us to do without the AFIG grant. The process that we went through of starting with the climate action plan, laying out what our long-term goals were, and then figuring out what are the benchmarks that we can accomplish in order to meet those long-term goals.
It was incumbent upon us to ensure that we had a good team internally, but also that we had collaboration with DEP.
I actually was fortunate enough to work with DEP through this program, and they've been every step of the way responsive and helpful. If I had a hiccup or a hurdle, they would answer it, and usually it was something small or just a formatting issue, but they answered every question that I had, and they were very eager to be assisting in this project.
The Alternative Fuels Incentive Grant is extremely flexible. We are a two-time recipient of the grant, not only for the electric vehicle charging station project, but we have also purchased one and hopefully soon our second electric vehicle.
So I happen to be one of the EV drivers for our company. I've also spoken to many of my fellow EV drivers, and everybody has had a positive experience with those EVs.
The students love the brand new buses, and then the quieter ride. We would not have been able to do it without that grant, and we're so grateful for it because we want, again, our children to have a safe, efficient ride, and we're concerned about not only our students, but the health of our neighborhoods.
So from the township's standpoint, there's economic benefit because there's lower fuel costs and they require less maintenance. But primarily, this was something we wanted to do for our residents and for the surrounding communities.
Because of the low maintenance costs, as well as the offset in fuel that we've saved enough money to be able to reinvest in our students' education.
Since we've been able to receive this grant, that we see what it can do, and so there may be less resistance going in this direction. So the AFIG grant has been really helpful with that.
My advice to applicants is simply just go for it. And if you get it, you're going to be able to make an impact. The process is very simple, and that the dollars go a long way in changing the lives of those in your community.